and thank you so much for being here tonight at this special fundraising event. My name is Amanda, and I'm the founder of Hooves. While you may see and hear from me a lot in the community, my favorite place to be is right over here in our arena, sharing the life-saving work. As you just saw in the video, it truly is life-saving. Without Hooves, our generous sponsors, my amazing husband Justin, our incredible volunteers, and our dedicated board and staff members, we would not have the opportunity to pass on this life-saving wisdom to hundreds and someday hopefully thousands of veterans. If you follow any news channel, I'm sure you've seen firsthand the voids that exist in successfully caring for and providing resources to our struggling veteran population. This has resulted in 20% of OIF and OEF veterans suffering from PTSD and 22 veterans per day losing their life to suicide. After seeing the healing that takes place through the Hooves program, I often lay awake at night searching for ways to make effective healing more accessible to our veterans in need. As I reflect on the past decade, I can see the face and remember the transformation of every veteran who is healed at Hooves. But one story in particular stays with me, and I wear it as a reminder on my wrist. The bracelet I'm wearing has a bullet for the clasp. 6 years ago, this bullet was in a gun. This gun was in the mouth of a veteran. Miraculously, his wife walked in the door just moments before he pulled the trigger and was able to de-escalate the situation. But he kept the loaded gun on standby just in case. After the incident, his wife frantically searched for help, found Hooves online, and enrolled him into the program. A few weeks after his retreat, he gave me the bracelet with that very same bullet as a clasp, and he told me he wanted me to have it because he knew after the healing that took place at Hooves, he would never need it. People often ask me if someone can heal that much in just 4 days. My answer is always, it's the norm at Hooves. A participant from our last retreat summed it up beautifully. In her own words, she said, "My time at the Hooves retreat provided transformation of unprecedented growth. It was like taking a whole college semester on self-healing. This valuable knowledge has given me a blueprint that I will continue to build on for the rest of my life." What stands out in that testimony to me is the phrase, "build on for life." Hooves helps veterans discover a set of tools that can be deployed to overcome daily obstacles, allowing them to continuously grow. In fact, our data shows that 1 year post-retreat, the majority of participants say that taking their own life is no longer an option. This is because Hooves provides veterans with the opportunity and skills to self-heal, connect to meaningful purpose, and be included in a support system that we hope will be here for life. As we celebrate the success of Hooves tonight and the many lives saved, I would also like to take a moment to reflect on some of our challenges. If you followed us for a length of time, you know that we've endured our fair share. And there were a few times we didn't think that we were going to be here anymore. For those of you who don't know, for the past 12 years, Hooves has been a privately funded organization and has existed solely on the generous donations of local community members and businesses just like yourselves. I often say our story feels like that of David and Goliath, and by the grace of God, we continue to prevail through miracles and amazing people who are just as committed to the healing of our veterans as we are. Just a week ago was the 21st anniversary of September 11th, the day that changed our country forever. As I was looking through photos of 9/11 in remembrance of those who were lost in the tragic terrorist attacks, there were 2 photographs that stood out to me. The first photograph is known as the Falling Man, and you may have seen him on the cover of Time magazine. That man was in the North Tower when it was hit at 9:41 a.m., and he made the decision to jump to his death. When we ask the question, why did he jump? The answer that glaringly stands out is, in that moment, he believed that it was his only option. We often see that through the 22 veterans a day who choose to end their lives. In that moment, our service members don't see or feel like there is any other option. The second photograph is of a red bandana wrapped around the South Tower. Shortly after the North Tower was hit, a second attack took place at the South Tower. Fire was spreading and the air was filled with smoke. It was so dark you could barely see. It appeared as if there was no way out, but as survivors recalled, the strong voice of a young man presented itself. That voice was clear and calm. He let them know that he had found the stairs. They didn't know his name, and over his nose and mouth he wore a red handkerchief. He immediately began evacuating people from the building. He went back again and again and continued to pull people out until the tower completely collapsed. His name was Wallace Crowther, and he is known as the man in the red bandana. He reminds me of all the people who are relentlessly committed to going back for those who can't find a way out. It's a level of selfless dedication that goes above and beyond. I like to think the mission of Hooves is a part of that mindset. Over the past decade, we've repeatedly gone back for those who can't find a way out and carried them to a place where they can breathe, recover, and return to life. Tonight, I invite you to join